Hi and welcome everyone, it's Indie Author Showcase Day, so let's go and hear some authors talking about their books.
Hello, I'm JDL Rosell, and I'm here to talk about my book, The Last Ranger. The Last Ranger has been a fun book to put together. I ran a Kickstarter campaign for it, which allowed me to include interior art, which I haven't done before. So it's got lots of things showing off the world in it. Now, a little bit about it. It follows the protagonist, who's pictured here on the cover, Leigh Firebrand, who's as brash and fiery as her name implies. She's a ranger in this wilderness called the Titan Wilds, which is populated by creatures like this, the Ash Dragon. And because of that, the rangers try and protect the people that are on this wilderness. As implied by the name The Last Ranger, she and her fellow rangers will suffer a betrayal, which leads Leigh on a quest for justice. While she's on this journey, she also has to encounter the trauma of her past and the flaws within herself and her beliefs. There's my cat. Anyway, so I hope it pays homage to a lot of classic fantasy things like, the Fantasy Ranger in Strider or Aragorn. And this series has been a ton of fun to write. So I hope you'll check it out, and thanks for watching.
Hi guys, my name is Norbert Zsivicz. Just to make it clear, I would like to introduce my first book, Sealed Empire. As you can see, it's called Darby Harn because it was firstly published in Hungary, in my country. I published this book almost 2 years ago. Thankfully, it was received really well. So I won the Dugonics András Online Choice Awards in 2022 as the best fantasy of the year. So soon after that, I was decided to make an English translation, and for that I found Tamás Péters, who is a really talented translator. He translated the Game of Thrones to Hungarian and also many Isaac Asimov novels. And that's when Darby Harn became Sealed Empire, which is available now on Amazon. So let's jump into the story. So Rebel is an experienced sailor. He's going for the most ambitious and dangerous mission of his life. He's heading to the world's end. On his journey, he's have another mission as well. He wants to earn the blessing of the High Priest, Sven. He's none other than his lover's father, the most influenced man in the realms. On this holy stormy journey, Edward and his men encounter something that could shake their fate, and also maybe even the future of their world. Meanwhile, far from the oceans, Emma, Ed's love, is getting more and more involved to the realm's politics by Eric, the new king, who is the villain of this book and also a protagonist. As you can see, this book is placed in a rich medieval fantasy world with a lot of mystery and sci-fi elements, but I don't really want to tell you more. I just want you to enjoy this book, get this journey and adventure it by yourself. So just visit our website, you can start to read the prologue there, and also there is an interactive world map and you can find places there and you can just learn more about the history, mysteries, fates, wars, and much more. So it was just a really quick taster of my novel, but I don't really want to spoil anything for you guys. Just explore it yourself, and maybe I will gonna talk about more of this kind of story and the characters and everything, but for this I have just a limited time. Thank you for watching, and please review my book.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica McMinn and I'm a grimdark fantasy author from Australia. I've been a writer for as long as I can remember, and my debut novel, The Ruptured Sky, is a passion project of mine some 20 years in the making. It is a character-driven epic grimdark fantasy set in a world where the gods are dead, the sky is torn, and the land wasted by magic. It is action-packed, it is a quick read, and it's full of magic, monsters, and mayhem. A runaway princess, a grieving widow, rebellious assassin, and a sheltered orphan make up the cast of characters who are involved in a madman's prophecy to revive the dead goddess and prevent the rise of a dark and dangerous power. But not everything is grim and gloomy. This novel takes place in the queer normative world of Wilhelm, where 3 of our 4 POV characters are queer. We have ace representation and MM romance underpinning some of the story, and no on-page sexual violence. There is quite a bit of gruesome bloody death though. But if you're a fan of Robin Hobb, Anna Stevens or R.F. Kuang, and The Ruptured Sky might just be your next favourite read. So get around it everyone. It's available on Amazon and in Kindle Unlimited. Thank you.
When galactic danger calls, Agent Renault answers. Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan Nevair, and I'm here to talk about my latest release, Stellar Instinct, a spy-fi thriller. This book is a standalone. It takes the classic tropes of a secret agent story and places them in a galactic setting amidst a variety of alien species. It's 320 pages. It has the pace of a thriller, but a bunch of added layers around gaming, virtual reality, poetry, and even a dash of cosmic horror. The story follows Lelaine Renault, who is a top operative at GAMOPS, Galactic Agency Maintaining Order, Peace, and Security, a clandestine organization. And her prime objective is to investigate a series of strange signals that pulse from an icy planet in a remote star system. And this leads her to a cosmic mystery that opens doorways into virtual reality, where she ends up having to face down a gaming mastermind. She dons cunning disguises and infiltrates enemy territory with a variety of secret gadgets, all your typical secret agent type things, all the while being inspired to poetry while on the job by the excitement and the danger of the field. It's written with 2 POVs, the main character, Lelaine Renault, and the antagonist. It's written in third-person close, but there are a few scenes written in second-person voice, and I did that because those scenes involve virtual reality spaces, and I wanted to immerse the reader inside the body of the character in the virtual reality space. Comps, think Atomic Blonde meets Andor with a dash of Ready Player One, or Mission Impossible, or like a gender-altered James Bond in a Star Wars-like universe. It gets a lot of praise for the characters. They were a lot of fun to write. Probably my favorite is Granny Kissy, who is a legendary agent that Lelaine lives in the shadow of. Think like Violet Crawley from Downton Abbey, played by Maggie Smith, sort of like as a former MI6 agent. It's fast, fun, it's exciting, but also a little bit provocative in terms of how it addresses games and entertainments. It's a balance of plot-driven and character-driven action. It's available on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. It is also available in paperback, and it's available wide on audio. Erica Garafia did the narration, and she's a character actor, and her voices for the different alien species are fantastic. I hope you give it a try, and if you do, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much.
Hi everybody, my name is Darby Harn, and I'm the author of Stargun Messenger. This is my new space opera. It's out on May 5th. Cover art by Al Hess, author of World Running Down. I'm very excited to share this with people. This has been a long time coming, 20 plus years, long involved story. I don't want to tell you about that one. I want to tell you about the Stargun Messenger of the title, and that's Astra Adari. Adari is a hired gun whose job essentially is to protect something called filamentium. Filamentium is the only fuel in the galaxy which allows for starships to go faster than the speed of light. It's very rare, it's very expensive. She then meets Luminor, a living star named Gin Imra. Imra is fantastic, she's wonderful, she's the girl of Adari's dreams. There's just one problem. The problem is that by meeting Imra, Adari discovers where filamentium actually comes from. And that triggers this epic, sprawling, galactic adventure that literally rewrites the stars. Like I said, this book has been going for a long time, but I'm happy, I'm thrilled, I'm ecstatic actually to share this with everybody. So I hope you'll check it out if you're a fan. of Star Wars, if you're a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, if you're a fan of Saga, the comic book, you may like this. If you're a fan of Samuel R. Delany, if you're a fan of New Wave space opera, or just different space opera, you may like this too. This is a slightly more speculative literary take, but there's still a lot of explosions. There's still a lot of pew pew pew. There's still a lot of space pirates, wouldn't you know? So thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me. I hope you check the book out. Thank you very much.
Thanks for this opportunity, Dom. I'm Gregory Amato, author of the Spear of the Gods trilogy, a Norse fantasy series, and I'm here to talk about book 1 in the series, Burden to Bear. Norse fantasy is set in our world, around the time of the Viking Age, but with all the myths, magic, heroes, and monsters of the time being real. It's this setting that I always wanted to read a fantasy series in, but I could never find it. So I decided I would have to write this myself. So Vikings in this series? Yes, for sure, but also witches, wizards, dragons, magical weapons, and a lot more. The series is told from the perspective of a skald, a bard of the north. He knows all the myths, from Odin stealing the meat of poetry to Thor going fishing for the Midgard serpent. Ansgar the Skald is a great teller of these myths and legends, but he is not eager to become a legend himself. That changes when he finds himself running for his life, and he joins a Viking crew to get away. The thing is, that crew hunts the biggest monsters in Midgard, so he is far from safe after joining them. He also needs to find a place for himself among these heroes who he clearly does not fit in with. That sets up Book 1, Burden to Bear, which I'm going to show again, mostly because I just love the cover art, which you can get by supporting my Kickstarter, which is running right now. It'll go through May 31st, and it will include Burden to Bear, and you'll also be able to get the prequel novella, The Skald. So if you like Norse mythology, or stories like Beowulf, or just well-written, character-driven fantasy that doesn't shy away from violence, but also doesn't make it the centerpiece of the plot, check out my Kickstarter, back me, and start this exciting new adventure.
Hi, I'm Heidi K. Allen, the author of Where Madness Lies, a contemporary mythological thriller, where the Greek gods have fallen and assimilated themselves into modern society while still remaining true to their realms of dominion. We meet these gods through Alex, a lonely mortuary technician who's been hospitalized once again for the devastating visions that she can't control and that no one ever believes. While she's there, she meets a depressed, anorexic waif of a woman with piercing eyes who ultimately reveals herself as Artemis, the former Greek goddess of the hunt. When tragedy strikes, Alex agrees to help her distraught new friend uncover the dangerous force that's killing her Olympic family, and in doing so captures the eye of more than one of these ex-gods, for she is the first oracle they've seen in centuries. And of course, learning that she's an oracle at all was quite life-changing for Alex. But when the impossibly strong Venetian assassins strike again, a terrified Alex and a shattered Artemis must untangle a web of immortal family secrets, mysterious ancient cults, and devastating revelations that leave no one unscathed. So if you like strong yet fallible and relatable female protagonists, found family, a hint of romance, page-turning suspense, super cool villains, and a pantheon of delicious characters, I think you'll really love Where Madness Lies. It is currently available on Kickstarter, where it's made its debut and is offered in all its formats along with a lot of extra goodies, and it will go worldwide after that. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much to Dom for letting me share.
Hi friends, My name's Joseph John Lee, and I'm the author of the Spellbinders and the Gunslingers trilogy. Today, I'd like to talk to you about my new book, book 2 in the series, called Children of the Black Moon, which is releasing on May 30th. I won't get into too much of the plot just because of spoilers and all that jazz, but I will say that it picks up right where the previous book, The Bleeding Stone, which will be entered into SPIF 09 this year, where that left off. So if you've read The Bleeding Stone and are looking forward to knowing where I was going after that ending, now you'll know. Broadly speaking, Spellbinders and the Gunslingers can be loosely called historical fantasy or epic fantasy, with some dark fantasy and Western thrown in. And it takes place in a world analogous to the Age of Exploration and colonial America, and it's a deconstruction of the concept and idea of history being written by the victor, where I depict a war of conquest and colonization, but from the perspective of the indigenous peoples who are being colonized. It's a series with snappy dialogue, complex characters, high emotional stakes, heartbreak, big battles, animal gods, moon magic, and plenty of other fantasy goodness. So if you're a fan of John Gwynne or Joe Abercrombie, you might find something to your liking here. You can pre-order The Children of the Black Moon now in paperback and ebook before its release on May 30th. And if you haven't read The Bleeding Stone yet, you might want to do that first because this is a sequel and linear progression of time. I also have a newsletter that you can sign up for on my website, and signing up for that means you'll receive my prequel novella, Pale Night, Red Fields, for free. So I hope you'll give them a look, and thanks again, Dom, for having me on the channel and always giving us indies a platform to showcase our books. Right, bye!
Hi, my name is Kyle Wilhelm. This is my book, The Death Moon Scythe. It's the first book in my Lore of Eldritch Flame fantasy trilogy. It's fast-paced, action-packed fantasy full of bloody battles and gritty taverns. There's plot twists and turns and a Lovecraftian-inspired magic system. Also morally gray characters and, of course, a bit of dry humor thrown in there as well. If you're interested, you can check out the book's description as well as the covers for the next 2 books in the series, which will be coming out in June and July. That's on my website at kylewilhelmauthor.com. And of course, a big thank you to the viewers and Dominish for the opportunity to present the book. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Rex Burke. I'm the author of Orphan Planet. It's book 1 in my new Odyssey Earth trilogy. Books 2 and 3 will be coming out later this year. But Orphan Planet's the first. It's a classic sci-fi adventure. A colony ship sets off across the stars on a 17-year voyage across the galaxy to a new Earth-like home. And in the grand old tradition of such things, something, of course, goes wrong. So on our colony ship to the stars, Jordan, our main character, he's jaded with life emotionally and professionally back home on Earth. He wants to escape. He thinks that 17 years fast asleep on a spaceship is a great thing. He's going to wake up on the Earth-like planet they found called New Earth, and he can start his new life. Of course, in the great old tradition of such things, things go wrong. He gets woken up early. And he's really miffed by this. He doesn't like this at all. And he's doubly miffed when he finds out that they've woken him up to look after 6 kids. Something went wrong on the ship. They weren't supposed to be children. It wasn't children and families on the ship. They were all single-minded professional crew dedicated to the mission. But of course, you know, space is space. Stuff gets boring. And 6 kids were accidentally born in the first year of the mission. By the time they've woken Jordan up, they're 16 years old. They've suffered a bereavement from their long-time mentor and counsellor who's looked after them. And Jordan is woken up to take her place. And ultimately, it's, I call it feel-good sci-fi. It's a hopeful space adventure in the old tradition, if you like. It's, you know, some people call it cozy sci-fi, maybe hopeful sci-fi. So I'd like to think it's a really good, entertaining read. People have certainly said that it is. It's funny. It's not a space comedy. It isn't a straight comedy at all. That's not really what I wanted to write. The humour is in the interactions between the kids and Jordan, the captain. There's a snarky AI. Of course there is. You've got to have a snarky AI in a book like this. He knows everything, but then so do teenagers. So, you know, a lot of the humour comes from those kind of interactions. You can read book one, Orphan Planet, in isolation if you like. It ends quite reasonably. There are no cliffhanger endings, but the story does continue with some really nice story arcs in books 2 and 3, so I hope you stick with it through then. If you want a taster, like a prequel taster, there's a short story called First Date that I give away for a sign up through my website. So that introduces you to a couple of the characters as well and gives you an idea of the style and the tone of the book. So anyway, check it out. Orphan Planet. It's just been released. My name's Rex Burke. I'm really grateful for Don for giving me this opportunity to present the book to you today. And I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you around. Thanks. Bye.
So as usual, a massive thank you to all of the authors who've submitted videos for inclusion in this showcase. I really appreciate the time you've taken to talk to my viewers about the books you've written. If you're an indie or self-published author of fantasy or sci-fi and you want to appear in a future one of these videos, check out the Indie Author Showcase page on my website, dominishbooks.com. It should give you all the information you need to get a video together and send it over to me. If though you do have any questions that aren't answered, do reach out on social media and I'll be happy to have a chat. You can find all of the links to my social media accounts in the box below this video. And of course, as always, you can also find links down there as well to all of the authors you've seen today, so you can check out their work in further detail. That's everything for today. I hope you've enjoyed this showcase. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video sometime soon. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves, read some good books. Bye for now.